What's good, YouTube? It's me, MeganB, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'll be transforming this black wig into an ash blonde bob. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and without further ado, let's get right into it.
Yeah, get into it!
So I'm starting off by bleaching the hair using my Ion Color Brilliance Bright White Powder Lightener. This stuff is expensive, runs around $20, but it is so good, you guys. Then I am going in with my Ion Sensitive Scalp 30 Volume Developer. I got both of these from Sally Beauty. I'm also doing a 1-to-1 ratio, which simply one part powder, the other part developer, using the measuring cup that comes with it, and you should get like a lotion conditioner type of consistency. So we're going to start with 2 pieces in the front section off. You can make this as big or as small as you want. This is going to simply be your money pieces or your patch highlights, whichever one you want to call them. And then I'm going to start putting that bleach on those strands of hair. Once I get towards the root, I like to smudge it out and feather it out a little bit so you won't have like a line of demarcation. You want to do the front 2 pieces first so it can saturate and start lighting up a little bit faster. You want this part to be the brightest of them all, which is the purpose of like a money piece or a patch highlight. I will say this hair did not take bleach well at all. I got the closure from the beauty supply store for about 30 bucks. It is a HD closure, a 4x5, I will say. The bundles I got from Amazon, I will leave that link below. The bundles lifted a little bit better, but I will say the closure did not lift as much, and yeah. So I'm going in with a slightly bigger section behind that money piece, and I'm going to create basically a balayage. So the bottom portion will be saturated completely with bleach, and then as you go up towards the root, you're going to feather it out and create some highlights. You can customize this however you want. You can go as high as you want or as low as you want. Just make sure for your ombre part, the bottom part, you are saturating it completely, and then towards the top you want to make sure the top part is saturated to create those highlights. Then I'm going to take another section which is slightly smaller, and I'm going to do the same thing. The only difference is I'm going a little bit lower than the patch in front of it, but I'm still going to do that balayage effect, making sure the bottom part is saturated and then the top is only saturated at the top as I feather out. So I do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Then once I get towards the back, I like to work in sections. It just makes the process a lot easier. So I section the entire back off into 3 sections, and then within that section I break it off into 3 sections again, just to make the process a lot much easier. But I'm doing the same exact thing, the balayage method, making sure those ends are saturated really well, and then as we feather out, we're just making sure that very top part is good and saturated so we can create some good bomb highlights. This also adds a lot of dimension in the hair, not making it so much like one color, but you got some highlights in there, some lowlights in there. Just, it comes out, I like dimension versus having one solid color. Sometimes, or most of the times, I do like a lot of depth into my hair, so some highlights and some low light dark pieces in the hair, it just creates a really nice professional looking type of look. Also, when wrapping the foil, you want to make sure that some of the top part is like, it's not covered completely. You do want that bleach to breathe, because if it does not breathe, it is going to be on fire. Your hair is going to be on fire. It's going to be smoke coming out your hair. I've done that years ago in the past, made that mistake in the past, and I've learned from my mistakes. So do not cover it completely. You do want to have some hair out, like I have it at the top with the foil in it, because your hair will burn. That bleach needs to breathe. It's going to saturate, it's going to lift the hair, don't worry about that, but your hair, it still needs to breathe while it is covered with foil. The foil I'm using is from beauty supply store. You can get any type of foil you want. I just got it from the beauty supply store. The brand is Annie, I believe. So I just repeat this process once again throughout the entire head until I get a little something like this. This is my first round of coloring. As you can see, it is nice and brown, lifted to probably I don't know what it's lifted to, but it's lifted. I'm going to go in a second round and bleach it again. I don't know if you could tell, but the closure did not bleach. The money pieces did not bleach as bright as the rest of the hair, so I'm definitely going to leave that in a little bit longer than the rest of the hair. So I'm going to bleach the hair again for a second round, and I'm just going over the pieces that are already brightened. This makes it a lot more easier the second round because you can see exactly what's already light and bright. I honestly wish I used a 40 volume developer instead of a 30, but this honestly was a last minute type of situation. I honestly was going to do just a black bob, but your girl just cannot do a black bob, y'all. Like, I've never had a black bob. My bobs have always had some type of color in them, which is weird. So these are the results. It did not come out as bright as I wanted it to, so I did go back and bleach it a third time. But this is the final round because, child, I had to go to work the next morning and your girl was tired. So I did go in and bleach the entire bundle, so that means the roots as well as the ends. I don't remember how long I left it on. I just checked in every now and then to make sure I reached a desired brown that I wanted. The other two times I bleached it, I left the hair on for 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm just making sure I saturate everything. Make sure every strand is saturated in bleach. So this is the final outcome of the bleaching process. I could have gone another round, but child, your girl was tired. I had to go to work the next morning. I just couldn't do it, and I was just ready to see the color. Like, I was just ready to see it. I was anxious. So I went on to the next step. All right, so we are almost done, y'all. So as you can see, the hair is all orange and brassy and just disgusting looking. So now I'm going to use my Wella T18 toner that I got from Sally's Beauty, and I'm going in with the Clairol 20 volume developer. So that will be 2 parts toner and 1 part toner and 2 parts developer. My bad. And you just want to saturate the entire head, making sure every strand is saturated. The way you know that it is starting to process, it will turn purple, and that just is going to cancel out all that orange brassiness color. So this is the final result, y'all. It's so cute. Like, it's not my desired expectations, but it's still cute or whatever. So now we're going in with our box dye colors, and I'm using the AshBlonde and Revlon at the bottom. So this is going to be our brightest color of the entire hairstyle. This will be towards the ends. Then towards the top, the roots, I'm using the Revlon dark brown, and I'm just using my fingers to smudge it in. I go in with the brush to feather it out so you can have a nice smooth transition. So you won't have, like those harsh lines of dark brown and then a blonde. You want everything to blend in pretty nicely. And I do that to the entire backside of the hair. Also, make sure that you are getting every strand. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure you're getting every strand of hair. Make sure you're on top of it. Make sure you're getting underneath of the hair. Also, you want to have a towel on hand just so you want to mix the dark brown with the blonde. I made that mistake, but I immediately wiped it off, so I didn't have any worries. But I was forgetting to wipe in between the brown and the blonde. Now, once I get towards the closure, I do go in with the Revlon Brown Black at the roots, simply because I like a dark root transition around my face. I don't like anything so bright around my face when it comes to these hairstyles. So I did go in with the roots with the brown black using my eyebrow spoolie, making sure I don't get any dye on the closure. Then I go in with the dark brown so it can have a nice transition, and then I go in lighter with that ash blonde towards the end, making sure we just got a nice smooth transition. So now that the hair is all saturated in color, I leave it in for about an hour or so just to really make sure that color is penetrating and staying on the hair. After that, I go in and I shampoo with my Shimmer Lights purple shampoo. I like to use that on any type of blonde just so I can have a long lasting color. After I shampoo, I go in and I use the small conditioning packets that come with the box dye, and I absolutely love them. They're so great for detangling the hair, and it's still really good moisture for the hair. After I go in and condition, we go in and deep condition. So I use the OG silicone mix, the regular one and the argan oil one. I mix those two together, slap it on that baby. And I also use fabric softener. I know it sounds crazy, but get you some fabric softener. It's gonna have the hair smelling good, and for some reason it really makes the hair extremely soft. I do not put a lot, just a little bit, just enough to saturate the hair. I put it in a Ziploc bag and then like a grocery bag to make sure it doesn't bust while in the microwave, and I watch it every now and then when it comes to putting it in the microwave. I don't have a specific time. I just put it on automatic start and I watch it every now and then, take it out, let it sit for a while, and start styling the hair. So these are the final results, y'all. How you like it? How I do? Let me know in the comments below. It turned out better than what I thought it was going to turn out. I didn't have too many high hopes in myself, but it did turn out pretty good. So after I washed and straightened it, we're going to go in and start cutting the bob. I'm using shears and clippers. Shears I got from beauty supply store, and the clippers are my dad's. And you really want to take your time with this part. It took me about like an hour or so to get my desired length, so you want to make sure you are concentrating, you got time, because it takes a lot of patience, especially if it's your first time. It's my first time like cutting a bob like this, so I really did have patience and take my time. Also, don't forget to move the head around in different directions to make sure you are getting an all around even cut, especially like the underneath part. That was so hard for me. I was starting to get frustrated. I almost started crying, but I got through it and it came out pretty decent. And yeah, y'all, let me know how y'all think I did. So now it's time for the installation. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I didn't know what I was doing. I really went by a bunch of videos on YouTube that I watched. This is literally my first time applying a wig like this, at least trying to make it look like quote unquote scalp like. And your girl was struggling. I was really struggling. I was frustrated. The outcome, you'll see the outcome. I wasn't too happy with it, but it is what it is until I make me a new wig and just perfect my craft. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do the basics, lay my baby hairs, pluck more if needed. I also added bronzer because the lace was a little bit lighter than my skin tone. And I'm just gonna go back and forth trying to perfect this lace as much as possible.
Stiff what?
For real, stiff what?
Oh, no.
Stiff what?
Where?